Okay. And let me just make sure that this needs to be muted. And how are people doing? How's things going? How's my mic? Okay. I'm doing pretty good on that. Okay, so we have our things going here. We've got our thing. Let me announce. Hey, Jake. What? I'm streaming. Okay. Runes. Yes, it is a lot less hair, Jake, because this is every 6 months or so my wife cuts off all my hair. That's how it works. Okay. So, we're going to get on with some tetrachromat colors. So, let's start with, I have a bunch of new representations that Logan and I have been working on this for the past week and back and forthing, and he's made these representations. I need to see, I don't know how these look on stream because I know sometimes the colors get screwed up. So if it actually gets to there, why am I in the wrong place or something? What is this? 124 out of an hour 42. Okay, so we have our things going here. We've got our thing. Let me announce. Thing. Let me. Okay, this is really weird. Is that my like live thing on YouTube is showing things. So looks like the colors actually look all right this time. So we can work on this. So here, and how do I zoom? Am I just supposed to hit unwell? I hate it when they tell me the shortcut for zoom and it just doesn't work. So fill, whoa. Yeah, so this is a representation. So Logan, in his representations, uses white, for anti-UV and black for UV, which, I mean, you can do it either way. You can justify doing it either way because, I mean, ultimately these are two colors that humans cannot see. So you got to do something. So we'll just go with that. But we've got versions where, let me see, view, yeah, okay. So we've got UV on the outside, we've got UV on the inside. Yeah. Oh, a discrete math problem. That's great. Um, yeah. It. He also has. So let's try this shortcut. Has versions that are centered on different colors, just to show this is actually a polar projection of a sphere. So because of the extra dimensions involved, you cannot represent tetrachromat color on a wheel like you can with trichromat color. It's the surface of a sphere. And so we just take that sphere and do some kind of projection to it, and we can get stuff like this that will give us some indication of things. So this is, so if we take black as UV, that's UV on the outside, and then anti-UV on right in here, and you can do all of your painting and stuff. Logan, I have no idea why you chose to give these to me in WebP, but we're dealing with that. But you can actually center on any color. Like this one is centered on cyan, and you have UV and anti-UV here. I will probably use, but it looks like these spheres are showing up okay on YouTube from what I'm seeing. So I can probably use them, but I will probably use one of these two. It kind of depends on where we want to focus in terms of our detail. Like, do we want to think about it in terms of this or this? And then we can pull up Discord turned them into WebP? That's weird. Why would they do that? It's just such a weird format. It doesn't, like, the only program I have that does it is GIMP. So, let's see. I also made my own sort of diagrams. This, and Logan has his own version of this, is like a tetrahedron. And I had, we can make these black to go along with the convention we're doing. But this was one that I was working on. I was also working on my own polar projection type things. It doesn't work as well when you're trying to do discrete colors to do the polar projection because, like, you get this weird effect where the edges have the most detail, where like this line has the most detail, and it doesn't really look great. So we'll probably, I think we can work with this or this in GIMP and do it. Let's go ahead and get our other color terms and start translating them onto this. so that we have an idea of what we're working with. Now, and okay, and so we're going to, okay, we're going to find this. So where was my Inkscape? I just closed Inkscape. I need to open it and get the, I don't even know where I was. Tetrachromatic color. I've done so many iterations on this stuff. This is what we started with, right? So this is, if you remember Logan's thing, this is what we were dealing with yesterday, but he had it as like a spectrum and this on there, and it made it difficult. The thing about this kind of representation is it's difficult to see which colors are adjacent to each other, because UV green should be actually adjacent to green, right? So that's why we came up with these color wheel things. So now let me go and find that. Okay, tetrachromatic color, that should be it. See? So this, we want to take this and we're going to work on that, and we're going to remap this onto our current stuff in GIMP, I guess, since that's the only program I can get to work on that. I know that a lot of people hate GIMP, but it's free and it does the things that Photoshop does, so I use it sometimes. Can I get this? Yeah, it's this, right? There we go. And so let's look at this. And you can see now, so we were talking about green and UV green. Now we can go grab like a brush tool and make this gray. And we can go like big. That's, what the heck is that size? What's the size of this thing? And go over here, and this region, actually, so we want it to stop within the, I want this color to be more into UV than out of it. And then we can say, okay, this whole thing is Inga. Wow. My text is huge. No, we want to do like 40, I think. No, we want to do like 20. Jeez. So much smaller. So then I thought, Inga. So that's Inga. And then over here we had red. You like the continuous version of the tetrahedron better? Well, we can try that. We can try that. The thing is, I gotta download that, and also, okay, so also, so we have other representations. We've got videos, so you can map it to a tetrahedron, or you can have a tetrahedron that displays like this, or you can and you can just have a video of the globe. So this video is actually the sphere that we're working on. So you see, like it's the you know, making a polar projection makes it a little bit weird, but and then we have yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll consider we'll do what we're doing now for now. Now, so ipranki and inga are two words that we have. So we can do ipranki, and since we were doing blood, then I think we can kind of, and blood. So blood doesn't fluoresce directly under UV, is what I understand. But it does, like, but it's not going to be particularly reflective of it. And why is my brush suddenly not working? Oh, it's this. So we have this, and we can have ipranki. Then we were going to have like a blue. Okay, I need to zoom out because this view. Zoom. Yeah, it's. I think every representation has a problem in some way. Um, let's see. View, zoom. Yeah, okay. There we go. Now we can work with something. So we wanted like a blue here. And we can have blue encroach on green a little bit. I think maybe we can have the blue be into the UV blue range a little bit. If I can get this brush to work. Okay, I have to select the right layer again. And then get the brush. And then we wanted like a magenta, a separate magenta color. And then we have UV just all around this whole area is a color. And I'm thinking anti-UV can be here, and it can get a little bit of blues and greens in with it. Yes. It is a difficult problem. Excuse me. I was not planning properly, and I started eating before I was streaming, and that was not a proper choice. Yeah. So we can have. So let's go ahead and do these. Yeah, I think I'm going to have an anti UV color. There will also be black and white separately, but we can work with those. Um, Now, not everything. So Inga is just a regular root. Ipranki is derived, and yes, cat. So the speakers of Ndakaga are dragons. Like the typical D&D dragons. But I have added two. The a big thing that I've decided, like an area where I've decided I will do some world building stuff is in deciding what what the what sensory abilities they have, because like in the books they have some really impressive senses. They have both dark vision and blind sight, and you can think about dragons being really strong. But one thing that we did think about, because they are reptiles and they also are aerial predators, they would actually go for they would be tetrachromats, or at least I decided we'd go with tetrachromat vision, and give them the ability to see UV, because like most aerial predators, like most birds that are out during the day at least, have tetrachromat vision and can see in UV. And there's just a lot of interesting potential to that. I will have, when I eventually make a book of this, I will have ways for your characters to be able to see in UV, and that will be, I'm sure there are some people who will be interested in role playing that too. But yeah, so the two like senses I gave them are the tetrachromat vision and magnetoreception, which figures into how they perceive north and south. But but let's start working on some words. Let's actually get this down. And actually, I think let's see, when I think I'm. Let's actually. I want to add a new layer if I'm going to. If I'm going to be working in. If I'm going to be working in this program, I actually need to be able to edit things without affecting the image below. So again, we'll extend this into UV green a little bit. And then the UV red will be more geared towards the anti-UV spectrum. This is our blue color with a little bit of the UV blue in there. And then our magenta, we decided our magenta will go into UV a bit. Meanwhile, we have the separate UV color. And that's and our anti-UV color. Oh, penguins, they see UV, but they can't see red. That makes a lot of sense because penguins are aquatic, right? So they red it doesn't survive underwater very long, as I understand it, right? Um so and make this okay. So this is Inge. This is Ipranki, which means blood-like. Okay. Uh, so that one is derived from the word for blood, and when we need to deal with blue and magenta, so and UV and anti-UV. Um, I will say I'm not necessarily considering lots of aquatic creatures can't see red. Yeah. Yeah. Is there an advantage to seeing UV underwater? Because I think some fish can see UV, right? So we've got this. I'm going to start today with the UV color. And here's what I'm thinking is that in the ultraviolet, the sky itself is ultraviolet, but also the everywhere is basically full of this UV haze, this persistent UV haze. If you're in a place where you can look very far out in the distance, you will see a blue haze way out in the distance. The thing is, that's Rayleigh scattering. That's why the sky is blue, right? UV scatters 5 times more than any visible light color. So you see that UV haze much closer. So let's see, UV haze images. See if I can show you. No. Okay, UV. So UV photograph landscape. Okay, I don't think I want to like trying to find an image that will show you guys. Yeah, Purple Mountain's Majesty. Yeah, so we get a little bit of a blue or purplish haze. Trying to see. Okay, yeah, okay. I remember seeing this blog. See, this blog actually talks about it. You can see this farmhouse is not very far away, but you've got all this haze to the point where he has to do some white balance and color correction to avoid it just blowing out his camera, right? So you get, yeah, it's yeah. Yeah. So like things in the distance, you kind of actually sacrifice a little bit of long distance visibility when you can see in UV because of this haze that happens. So the thing is, like going for sky, which I already have a route for, and going like Beguki, that would be a very easy way to have a word for UV. But this persistent haze might be the most clear thing, that the most, like, the main thing that they would see. Another thing I've thought about is that you'd probably see more of the haze during the day. Just like the sky is blue during the day, but it's black at night. The main source of UV in our sky is the sun. So it's going to be more from that, right? So that's a thought. This is actually making me rethink things a little bit, which is, this is why I have, let's make this, can I make this, I can make this, no, I don't want, what the heck? I can't, oh, okay, change the background color. This is value, this is, how do I make this transparent? Oh, yeah, that's an interesting question. I think they would see some kind of a haze. Trying to think. Trying to figure out, how do I make my eraser transparent? Maybe I just have to... Oh, I need to be in the right... I'm actually rethinking as I'm thinking about this, because if we do haze, then I'm thinking maybe the UV will encroach a little bit more into blue, because there might be a tinge of like blue and purple in there. It's me describing this in terms of human colors is a little bit incorrect, as Logan's blog post will tell you, because really, when we have no idea what it looks like to see the world in with a UV cone, but based on how different the biology is and how the colors combine differently, they may not see the colors that we see at all. The colors would all look totally different. But we are going to get our word for like haze and go with like a hazy, or maybe. And I also thought that this would be a way for me to get my spell incantation for a spell I'm making. I don't want to spill the beans too much on that. Okay. Let's look at, let's have our words. Obsidian. And why am I getting text messages right now? Okay. Ignore that. I had issues. So I don't have a word for haze, I don't think. So haze. So we're going to go generate some roots. Let's go generate roots. Now let's get 10 at a time and think about, okay, ka ntrim none of those are getting it for me. Metif. We'll think about that. not Anchi. This is going to be Anchi. So let's go here. Here, I think these two are pretty cool. Right. So let's put this to a vote here. So what should be our root for haze and the UV color? And a thing that I was thinking about is so our options here are, can I get rid of these options? Get rid of these ghost options. Get rid of that. Start the poll. So our options are Anja, and Medjef. So let's see how you guys like that and see which one you guys like. We will get that decided. Make your voice heard. How much drain? Yeah. I do think that the sensitivity is something that's relevant, but I'm not going into that much detail. Logan and I talked about this. We are just talking about like the three primary colors that humans have in UV. If you actually wanted to nail down the actual perception that they have, you would have to know exactly what their sensitivity peaks are, and you'd have to do a more complicated calculation, which is not something that I am interested in doing right at this moment. There's only so much you actually do need to know when you're doing color terms, because color terms are not that precise usually. So let's get this and pull. I think, okay, Medjef. So let's get our text tool. So Medjef. So do we want to... Now this is the question. So I'm going to record this word. So Medjef. And we're going to get this. And it's Medjef with, it's, okay, this is messed up. I messed up here. I'm just gonna, yeah. This is going to be the same. Okay, so yeah, midgif. Midgif. So midgif. And so number one, this is going to mean haze, right? Now, I have a couple of options. I could do a straight conversion and have this also mean hazy and UV color like, right? Or I can add like a ki to it, and that makes it UVE, right? UV-ish. I started out this language with pretty strict grammatical categories, but I think I'm actually going away from that, and I think I'm just going to have this actually be also an adjective. That means so. Now, this is, okay, I'll just make that a 1. Okay. So that we're going to actually go with just that. Midgif. And maybe it's a little ambiguous which came first, huh? Maybe I can leave alone. Where is the uniform transform tool? I just want to move this. This is whatever. Right. So midgif. So here we have that. Now, blue and magenta and anti-UV. I have a tough time figuring out things for blue and a magenta that are like in nature. And also anti-UV. I'm thinking that these can be just sort of roots, and then maybe I can figure out a source later. It's a little bit... Hi, Pue. How you doing? Yeah, well... I mean, bees don't really... Penguins don't really need red to see underwater. And I guess bees don't need... One thing that we were talking about is we can talk about Inge, and that we had... Can we just move this? Okay. So we had Inge, and we had okay, right? No, it's okay, not aki. Right? Oh, this font is not good for this. And let's make this smaller. Versus Isati Inge. Right, and this, why? Okay. And this is more towards the UV. This is No, this will be more towards UV, right? And then this will be more towards the anti-UV. It's a little bit. Why? Okay, do I have to... Right? But those are not, they're not basic color terms. They are within. So the thing is, a'ake, this is the color of, so a'a is like an evergreen tree. How do I make sure that that actually takes an evergreen tree? And then isati is flower with a full suffix, so it's flowerful. And many flowers, let's see, sunflower under UV. Many flowers have very UV reflective surfaces. So let's see. So this is like what sunflowers look to a bee, like to a bee. Bees don't see red, but they see in UV, and they will see this bright pattern here, like this pattern, pattern of bright and dark. So a lot of flowers will have UV reflective. So flowers in and among the green would give that. So these are not going to be basic color terms, though. These are going to be just sort of like extra add-ons to inge, which means green, which the source of is loss of time. Let's go ahead and start and get our other colors here, and then we need black and white, and then we'll be good. Okay, so we will. Let's do a blue, and let's roll the dice on the word that we're going to choose. Let's go hit go on this. Fika, Chaki is good. Ajat. I'm not interested in Ajat. Let's go. Let's keep Anchi. Or, well, it's Anja. And we will consider also Chaki. So, what is our root for blue? And this is a human term. It's not exactly our blue. It also has some. So we'll go back. Ang, ha, and Chaki. Anja or Chaki for blue. Go do the votes. And we can also consider, oh my, it's bouncing. It's bouncing. How are we doing here? Okay. I think Chaki is the winner. So we will write down Chaki. Get that in a good space. Ah. And I think I'm actually going to go ahead and use Anja for anti-UV because it feels right. Not sure why it feels right, but I don't know why I even have any like assumptions about what works with the anti-UV color because it's completely outside my experience, but it feels right. And enter, let me get the edit. And this is actually Anja. Bugs Bunny gives up his penguin friend a red scarf. Well, the penguin would see that scarf as probably black, right? I think if you can't see red at all, it comes off as black. Unless it's a UV reflective scarf, which, who knows? Jake, I feel like I've been unfaithful to Anja. Yeah. So so Anja doesn't mean white, though. It means it's the color of a polar bear because polar bears absorb UV, and that is an interesting thing. I could have derived it from polar bear, but I think I like it. I like it like this. Maybe it will be derived from something. Or maybe the white dragons will call it something different because they will have a special relationship living in snowy areas because you can see certain prey animals better in UV with this color against the snow, which they'll perceive as white because it reflects a lot of UV as well as all the other colors. Now, magenta. Magenta, we were thinking like fruits or flowers could be a source of the term for magenta, but it's really iffy. I will say so our original idea was that like magenta would extend into UV magenta. I don't think that's necessarily... and then we thought like fruit or flowers. A specific species of flower might make sense for magenta, but not like flowers in general. I'm actually debating whether we need a magenta. Because the thing is, we wanted to have red, green, and blue because there are red, green, and blue dragons. That's important. I need to decide a little bit on like how far these two extend to each other, because they would have a yellow color, but whether they would actually call it a separate term is a question. I think actually, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back on what we were doing before. Where's the... And we're going to say that there isn't a magenta on its own, but one thing is like higher frequency colors will like go together a little bit. This magenta is probably going to be a fairly high frequency. Magenta would be more distinct color for them than it is for us. So oh, okay. So actually, if that's the case, and they already are dividing up colors quite a bit, then I guess we do want to have a magenta. I just kind of want to see it encroach on UV a little bit. Maybe we would have a situation where like the anti-UV end of magenta gets taken up a little bit by red and blue. While this is details I don't necessarily need to work out. But if we want to have a term for magenta, we can have a term for magenta. And I think what I will do... is just kind of make it a root. Oh, yes. I think that's something we were thinking about, actually. So if we erase here, and we even bring in the red a little closer, so we can say, okay, magenta takes on a lot of the UV red space too, and UV red is more towards the anti-UV end of the spectrum. Then we have a situation. I think, Logan, we were actually talking about this. Logan, I think we were actually talking about this. That like red dragons would have color patterns specifically in this color. And then if we had like magenta and UV red together, then describing a red dragon, then humans would hear a dragon talking about magenta markings on a red dragon, and the humans would look and be like, what are you talking about, right? Because they cannot see it. What? What? Oh, that's a bucket. I hit the wrong tool. So yeah, let's have UV red and magenta sort of share a term, and let's make it. I think we're gonna say that red dragons specifically have a lot of a lot of patterns in that, so that it's sort of a common thing. So let's grab chuta. We have a ch already. Chiche would be interesting. Chiche. Let's grab a few. Let's grab another one. Ipima. EP means something in the language already, but that's not a big deal. Ifi means pensu. Okay. I think this is our options that I'm going to go with. Okay. Oh, I need to remember. Okay. I just need to before I forget what these things came from. Yeah. Before I forget what these things came from, I need to record them in my thing. So, Chaki, and it means blue, and etymology is Tiaki, and then new note we have Anja. Is Anji. Ange, and this is anti-UV. Which we just perceive that as white, but that's a separate color for them. This is kind of mind-bending because it's literally impossible to. Ooh. Yeah, so let's go with that, and we have a queche. So let's go. No, not a Q&A. Start a poll. And what is our term for magenta / UV red? Is it going to be jeche, or is it going to be pensu? Right. Dichromats will see cyan is white. We'll see whatever is in between the two colors they can see is white. and we see anti-UV as white. It's wonderful, Pui. Okay. Yeah. Dichromats are fascinating. Maybe at some point I will create a language for dichromats and look at the color terms there, because it would just be, I mean, it's only really possible for them to have like 4 basic colors, because that's all they can see. Maybe 5 if you have gray. But it would be interesting seeing how that works out, whether they even have color terms. Okay. I think we will leave it at there. And okay, yeah. Bensu. Okay, and let me that's fun. This may be in a sister language. This may be interesting because it came from that. Bensu. Visual pattern terms. Yeah. Dichromats have better night vision, don't they? I will put the whole links in these etymologies later, but this is for magenta or UV red. I'll just put both of those in there. So, and then let me go. Let me go with, go find the word for Iprang. Oh, I never actually Ipranki. So we go add that. Ipranki is specifically plus ki, plus ki, right? That's it. So this is a basic color term. And the thing is, like, there will be reds that cannot be called Ipranki. And there will be reds that so it'll be like kind of difficult for humans to actually understand the distinction between Ipranki and what the other one that we just made, Bensu, right? So let's go ahead and put that on our chart. Bensu. Now, so the difference between Bensu and Ipranki will be very strange to humans. Monochromats are rare because color constancy is too useful. Okay. So, this is what we've got. Now we could cut this up even further, right? We could go with we could have a specific term for UV blue. We could have a specific term. We already have like a way of differentiating like anti UV green and UV green, right? But it's like this works as a set of basic color terms. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 basic color terms. But we could go with like cyan and yellow if we wanted to. How about we go have a vote? Um, let me just ask you guys, just as a quick straw poll, should we have color terms for cyan, or yellow? I think we're going to do one or the other or none of it. Neither. So we're going to go with cyan, yellow, or neither. And what do you guys think? These would be kind of later divisions, so we might want to actually figure out something that it would be the source of it. Oh, okay. And then we'll see. We got more votes can come in. But this looks otherwise, depending on how we choose, then we could be good with that. And, Logan, do fires put out much UV? I think it has to burn really hot in order to get too much UV, right? Okay. We've got 3 votes in. Why would we need a UVB term if we had yellow and cyan? No, that is correct. I assume you're saying fires would have to be very hot for that. Yeah. Okay. And this has been on for a bit. Okay, I guess you guys don't want to have the special roots, huh? For consistency, but real color terms are not always consistent, Logan. We can. So they probably will do like compounds, like ipranki inge, right? Ipranki inge, or chaki inge. But the bensu has this special, and so welding torches, because that's fun. It's fun to have irregularities. These are not. I don't think that these color terms were made in the spirit of having actual color theory. These are things that, these imaginary creatures just naturally developed over time for colors that were useful to them. So, maybe they had reasons to think about cyan and yellow that didn't apply to UV blue and UV green. You can get sunburned by welding? Do welders wear sunscreen? and I'm going to put like a dividing line around here. And this is, and a dividing line around here. This is all sort of iffy. In reality, these blobs would all overlap a bit, because that's how color terms are. Different people will perceive things a little bit differently. Different dragons will perceive things a little bit differently too. So this is our rough guideline. I will have to clean it up a little bit before I like post it anywhere. But we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 basic color terms. Well, yeah, the welding masks. So I guess that's why you have that. The mask must be designed in a way that blocks a lot of UV light, because too much UV is bad for your eyes. Yeah. Of course. Yeah, they have the whole mask and everything, so they don't need. They're probably more concerned about thermal damage. So we don't need this anymore. This is old news. And I don't need to be so I can save this. As an XCF probably. And we will go save it in my conlangery folders. Why is it? Okay, I'm just going to save it on the desktop for now. Yeah. And so, the only two other terms we want are black and white. And it probably works to just have them be like basic terms. I suppose, well, no. Let's actually. Okay. I have an idea actually. So we actually have a word for snow. Maya. Maya. It was always Maya. Should be Maya. This. Why? What the heck just happened there? Okay. De Maya und. Maya. Maya. I didn't realize I did that. Maya. But it's Maya. So let's do. I think I'm going to make this the source of. The thing is, like, we can assume that dragons travel all over the world. There are some dragons that do live in snow, so they'll see snow. Basically, most dragons will have seen snow. It's not a big deal. So we can go ahead and we make a new note. Mayaki. Mayake. Right? It's Mayake. Mayake. Maya plus ke. This is a suffix that respects vowel harmony. So in the other one it was ki, and here it's ke. And this would be an adjective This would be, well, Maya Ke. Right. And adjective. And the Ke is like. So it's not meaning snowy, it's snow-like, so it works that for this. So white. And I think they might have an association of white with cold just because of the white dragons too. Black, mayak means narcotic in Korean. Black, do we want to go with a root or do we want to go with, I was thinking maybe burned could be black. That's a good source for black. But I can look that up and burn. Hag. So it'd be hagfa. Hagfa. Not feeling that so much. Let's make a new root. Let's make one more new root. And so one thing, since we're not doing there are secondary and tertiary colors that they can see. So they have also cyan and yellow, and they would also have UV blue and UV green and UV red. Since we're not doing that, I'm also not going to bother with saturation as color terms. Saturation, we'd really only have one basic color term that's for desaturated color in English, right? We have brown, which is desaturated like reds and greens. So I don't think it's going to get to that point where they're talking about desaturated colors when we have this. Maybe in certain cases. Logan, I know you seem to have an idea of the greater discrimination. Is pink desaturated? Hold up. Logan, are you saying pink is desaturated? Mayao. Okay. What's Mayao? Okay. I have never thought of pink as desaturated. Oh, let me. I'm looking up Mayao now. Okay. Mayao in Chinese is anesthetic. So I guess it's like a similar sort of family of things, huh? So, but pink also includes some magentas, Logan, and that are very saturated. If you think about hot pink is sort of like a red magenta color. So let's see. Um, yeah, let's grab ourselves one more route for you guys to decide. That will just mean black. AQ, AQ maybe. Actually, no, that's gonna be an E. Right. E big. E big. I don't know if I like that one. It's froof. 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 Feels like I should use that one for something. Cheetah, no. Okay. Okay, here we go. Yeah, yeah, I think there are some people who just call magenta pink. Yeah, you're right. I think that's gro is go do wait golu golu boy. Is that right, Logan? Golu boy. Um, is that the light blue? If I have it right. I don't speak Russian. What is our root for black? Yeah. Yeah, Goluboy. EQ. This is a very Conlinger thing to do, is I don't speak Russian, but I taught myself how to read Cyrillic. Kind of. It's a little iffy because, I mean, since I don't actually speak Russian, I don't get much practice. So we're going with EQ or früh. Okay. Sini. Okay. So Goluboy and Sini. Right. Are those. I mean, it can be handy once in a while. So you see some random Russian text and you can pick out like names and stuff. Okay. Okay. Let's go. Okay. Let's. Okay. I think we can end the poll here. And you guys went with EQ. You didn't go with Früh. I was sure that more people would go with Früh just because it sounds funny. But I guess you guys don't like that. So let's go EQ. So EQ. G. Is EQ. And you know, it doesn't actually change the pronunciation at all. From proto-reptilian, and we have adjective, and it means black. And without UV, just to clarify that it's not our black, it's their black, right? So, and the Mayaki also is with UV, right? Because if it's not reflecting UV, it's anja. So, and that looks completely different to them. So we have one term for like a tertiary color, but I think it's a very important tertiary color because of some of the things that are useful about it. But it is after 5 o'clock. I need to end the stream and pick up pick up my daughters. And this has been very productive. That is a wrap on the basic color terms. I'm sure that like we can come back and talk about color some other time. This, I'm going to see about what we do next, because I am almost ready to move on to the next language, but I like, there's things I want to announce it in the right way and everything. So, and there's some other things that are going on that I want to be aware of for next week. So, I will talk about like in the Discord and do things, but anyway. Yeah, Jake, I'm not sure. We may be doing Silva next week. I'm gonna see about how I can get certain things sorted out before then. But with all that said, I'm gonna say happy conlanging.